Hey guys, this is Bruce. Lately, I've been thinking about this case that happened locally here in around the area that we live, called known as Colorado Springs. We we live in like center Colorado, and there was a Filipina that came up missing. This was months ago, so she's still gone. Every now and then, I go on the internet and I see if there's any new information on this young lady, because somebody brought it to our attention and said, have you heard of Jepsy Amaga? And we're like, no, we haven't heard of her. We went on the internet, and then sure enough, she'd been missing for like, I don't know, a month or something. And at that time, there were no major news outlets covering what had happened. And so we start digging up on our own, and there's a bunch of local YouTubers that had covered it. Not just local, but some guys who do like missing. In fact, this is one of their sites right here. This is a closed group that you're looking at right here, where they talk about missing persons and stuff like that. But this one specifically for Jepsy Amaga. So a little bit of backstory about Jepsy, from what I know and what I've read. So she came here on a K-1 visa about 2.5 to 3 years ago, and met an American guy. And I guess their marriage didn't go well, so they were kind of in and out of a relationship. But I think they did go ahead and get married. The guy was an ex-Marine and has a kid, I believe, and his name is Dana Kallungi. Kallungi. I don't know if it's Kallungi or Kallungi. Anyway, so they had been in a kind of a rocky relationship for 2 years, and she came up missing. This was in April 2019, this year. And so I guess now what's curious to me is that he didn't call the police. Like if my wife went missing, right? Even if we were on bad terms, I'd want to know like what happened to her, like what happened to her. This is a foreign country. She's here, doesn't have any family here. I would call the police and say, I haven't seen my wife in 24 hours. I haven't been able to get a hold of her, or 36 hours, whatever it was, and say, I'm filing a missing person. He's not the one who called. It was actually someone else who called the police and filed the missing report. This is really weird. This is really strange. And then when people are asking him questions like, hey, what happened to, where's Gypsy at? Where's my daughter at? Where's my friend at? And the answers he gives are very strange. He's apparently the last person who saw her. He flees the state and leaves to, I think he's in California right now. It's just very suspicious, and it's very fishy. And what's worse about this story is that the local police department, I don't know what they're doing. It's just very weird. It's just very weird. And I can't help but think, and I hate thinking like this, but she's not white. And the reason I'm saying this, and I really don't want to go down this road, but there was another situation like this that happened in Woodland Park, and it was national news. I'm sure you've probably heard of it, from another lady who was killed by her husband, and I think the guy's name was Chris Witt. You may have heard of it. The guy killed his pregnant wife. I believe this is the one. He killed his pregnant wife, killed his 2 kids, and then stuffed them in a drain pipe or something, like a pipeline that he worked at. And the cops were all over this guy. They made an announcement. They made the news and everything. And anytime stuff like that happen, I want to say it was in Denver. It might have been in Denver. I'm just gonna go ahead and let me just look it up real quick, because I don't want to put any false information out there. It was a local case that happened. The guy's name was Chris Witt. I can't help but think that maybe it has something to do with her, that she's not a citizen. She's a green card holder, was a green card holder, and she's not she's not white. I can't help but think that, because this very same thing happened to another lady not too long ago. Like within, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Um, it's horrific. It's terrible. But like I said, it's shocking. It's super shocking that our local police department has not said anything. I'm shocked. Yeah, I used to be a police officer, in the Air Force, and whenever I hear these stories about cops doing stupid shit, and nothing coming of their actions, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in this place that I love. I'm disappointed in the system. I'm just disappointed. Like, you can't have cops making these kind of ridiculous bad choices. Can you think about it? Like, I know everybody's human. Now you're probably thinking, Rob, like, you're probably thinking, like, why do you think this way? Why cops have a hard job. Yes, they have a hard job. Pilots have a hard job too. Are we gonna give them a slap on the hand for crashing a plane, killing a whole bunch of people, getting drunk? There's some jobs that don't have a second chance, and cops, that job is hard. They can't be lazy. You can't have people with ill motives. You can't have white nationalists. You can't have black nationalists being cops. You just can't. They're there to serve and protect, and you only get one shot. They're there to protect us. Just like firefighters. If firefighters didn't go out and do their damn job, people would die. They'd burn alive in fires. So it makes me mad, and it disappoints me, because I really love the United States. I've seen other countries. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen every country has problems. I just hold this country to a higher standard. You know what I mean? And it just is sad that this lady is not getting justice. She has not been found since April. It is now September. And every time I think of this case, and there's no information at all about Jepsy out there. There's no information. There's no announcements. There's no coverage. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. Let me just find this other. There was another one. I want to say it was 2 years ago. There was one in Woodland Park, and there was one in Denver, and in Colorado. And okay, so here's what I was talking about. So this guy right here killed his wife. And first off, his Colorado father, Chris Watts, that's his name, was arrested on August 15th. This was in 2018, the murder of his pregnant wife, Shannon, and his young daughters. And who called the cops? It wasn't him. He didn't call the cops when his wife ended up missing, right? It was the neighbor. The neighbor was like, hey, I haven't seen my neighbor in a while. She called the cops. And then the cops came and knocked on the door. It's crazy. You see that footage? It is insane, man. They talked to him directly. They have footage of him being the last person to be at the house. It is horrible. It's a horrible story. But here's the story right here. And this dude, cops were all over this guy. This made national news. I don't know if you've seen this, but this went national. But here we have Jepsy here. And you probably never heard of this woman. You probably never heard of her. And this lady recently went missing. And I do not want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about racial stuff. I don't want to talk about. But when I think about this, like, this just makes me sick to my stomach. And there was just a shooting here recently in Colorado. Black man got shot in the back. It's just, man, we got to do something about the police in this country, man. There's too many. There's too many. I don't know if it's the processes. I mean, I wasn't taught to shoot people in the back. I don't know what they're teaching these guys. Like, people are getting shot in the back with no weapons, no nothing, running away, and they're getting shot in the back. And this case is open with no new information. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You know, this is supposed to be a happy live where I talk about my trip. Me and Yuri just went to 3 countries. We went to Philippines, went to Thailand, and we went to Vietnam. I got a lot to say. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that happened. We got lots of footage. We'll be putting it out. It's just, it's just that, you know, I just noticed I get back to the U.S. and no new information on Jepsy. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is freaking ridiculous. And it's just a shame that nobody is talking about it. Our police force is not talking about it. This will be the most recent video that anybody has talked about Jepsy Amaga. Meanwhile, her mom is working in another country worrying about her daughter. Just wants to know, has not talked to her daughter. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yuri calling me. Yeah, I'm not gonna make this a long one, guys. I don't really, I'm not feeling it tonight. I'm not feeling. I just wanted to talk to you. I just wanted to tell you guys. You know, I want somebody to know that what's happening, what's going on here in this state, in this local area. And if you're catching this late, there was a missing Filipina, came here about 2.5, 3 years ago on a K-1 visa from the Philippines, married to an American guy, ex-Marine. And now she's missing. She's been missing since April. And her name is Jepsy Amaga. And the shocking thing for me, more shocking, well, it adds additional disturbing factor to this, is that our local police department hasn't made a local announcement, hasn't reached out to community and say, hey, if anybody has seen Jepsy, please call us if you want to. None of that. I haven't seen any. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see. There's some local news here that came out a few months ago. Here's one from April 16th about a Colorado woman has been missing for almost a month. Okay, this is in April, so you know it's September now. And her mother is desperate for answers. Jepsy Amaga, 26, has not been seen or heard since March 20th. Her mother, Margie Amaga, told NBC affiliate KOAA of Colorado Springs, according to Amaga, her daughter's husband of almost 2 years, said that the last time he saw Jepsy, he believed that she was preparing to travel to the Philippines, Mexico, or Chicago. You know, that's what the last guy who murdered his wife said, by the way. I'm so worried and I cannot sleep. I cannot concentrate on work. She lives in Hong Kong. So, and then they reached out, this news organization reached out to the police department, and they said, they gave in a statement Tuesday. Okay, so they did give a statement. And but no, there's been no new information. Let me just see what their statement was. This is a statement that they put on Facebook. Now, I don't know why they wouldn't make a formal announcement on TV. On April 4th, 2019, officers from the Colorado Springs Police Department received a call service desk to check the welfare of Jepsy Amaga. Patrol officers were unable to contact Miss Kallungi, initiated a missing persons case report after conducting a preliminary investigation. On the same date, the Colorado Springs Police Department Homicide Assault Unit assumed the investigation. Since that time, detectives have been actively investigating circumstances surrounding the apparent disappearance of Miss. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I need to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, maybe they're investigating. Maybe there's a detective right now who's working on it, and he's got some leads, and he's just not putting it out there because there's more to it. Maybe I hope that's the case. I really do hope that that's the case. I really do. It's just sometimes I just get frustrated, and it's just we need to do better about caring for young women, especially immigrants. I mean, they don't know anyone here. It's just like if an American goes to the Philippines. If you go watch, what's the guy's name? Philippine Dreams, Ned. Ned often talks about how these foreigners go to the Philippines and end up dead, right? And he'll do a piece on, I remember he did one about a guy who goes into a bar and got into a fight and the guy gets killed. He did another one where a guy is the guy from, I want to say Australia. He'd been in the Philippines for many years. He'd done all of this humanitarian work, and he had his girlfriend that he met, and the girl set him up, and he got jacked, and they basically shot him in the back of the head and took whatever money he had in his pockets. And that stuff happens in the Philippines, happens all over the world. It's just, I just have I guess maybe this country and this place, Colorado, I just have a higher standard. Like, I just don't think that we should have this problem with immigrants who don't know anyone coming here. They should feel safe, and it's just a shame that here we have K1 visa holder came here and now she's missing, right? This is why we have to have investigations, because you just never know, man. And to all you Filipinos, if you happen to be watching this, let me tell you something. You really got to be careful who you meet online. Because look at this young lady. She had her whole life ahead of her. Now her mom is in Hong Kong wondering where her daughter is. The last place she was here, it was in America, Colorado. You really got to be careful who you meet. This is real talk. And I've said this before, man. You guys want to focus on some of the negative stuff, man. Like, here's something negative you can focus on, man. You got to be careful, I'm telling you. Because Yuri and I, like, we hear all kinds of stories, man. Not this bad, not like this is extreme. But we've heard other stories about women getting mistreated, coming to this country and getting mistreated by some guy, some American dude. So just make sure when you meet someone, take your time to get to know them. Make sure you're protected. Give them time to meet your family. Meet them in person, for the love of God. Meet them in person. Give it time. Give your relationship time. Make sure you feel safe with this person that you're with. You know what I mean? Most of the problems, the extreme cases that we heard of, like where it's talking about abuse or things like that, like you would think, like a lot of Americans assume this or that guy got scammed. That does happen. Marriage fraud and that kind of stuff. But a lot of the times, the worst case scenarios is where the guy is abusive, because the guy thinks he can bring a woman over here and do whatever he wants. And that's just what kind of sick person thinks that way? I don't know. But you I don't understand that mentality at all. I really don't understand that mentality. I don't get it. And just be careful. To you Filipinos out there, you might be watching this. Just be careful who you date. If you're serious about a guy, take your time. Make sure that he's not crazy. If you have any doubts in your mind about the guy and you don't feel safe, man, either give him more time or move on to someone else, or tell him flat out, like, I don't feel safe with you. I don't Articulate your feelings. Tell them how you feel is what I'm saying. Because your safety, man, especially you go to another country, any expat will tell you this. You know, you don't know any. You go there, you don't know anyone. You're on your own. Be safe. Because you think America, you know, you would think that this country is the safest place to go. You know, you would think that. But no, you got some crazy people here. You got some insane people. And to be honest with you, I felt less safe in certain parts of the U.S. than I have in anywhere in the Philippines. I'm just being completely real with you. I felt less safe in certain parts of the U.S. than I have in anywhere in Thailand. Okay? You got to just be careful when you come to this country, because it's not like TV. It's not TV, guys. This is real life. I don't know what else to tell you. Except, for the love of God, make sure you know the person that you're coming to live with, that you're going to spend your life with. Take the time to just get to know them before you get married to them, before you come here to the U.S. Because Jepsy is gone. Supposedly, the local police department and detectives are investigating their case. I really, truly pray that that's the case. I really do hope. But that's all I have is hope. Because I have not seen them announce anything about her. Unlike this other case that I just showed you with Chris Witt, who killed his wife. They're all over that. That made national news. Why is that? You know, I have to ask, like, why? Why is it that some cases get national coverage and some don't? That's all I got, guys. Hopefully, maybe I have something more cheerful to talk about next week. My God. Man. God bless.